Welcome back to Storybook Crochet. In today's video we are going to be making a candy corn ice cream cone, and this is based off my basic ice cream cone pattern that you can also find here on YouTube. So for this pattern you're going to need worsted yarn in a light brown, yellow, orange, and white. You're also going to need a 3.5mm crochet hook, and this is an USE hook. You're going to need a yarn needle, some scissors, stitch marker, and 18mm safety eyes. And then of course you're going to want to grab some Fiberfill to stuff it with. So if you're looking for a basic candy corn crochet pattern, I also have just added this to my YouTube channel last week, so you'll want to check that out and make a bunch of these for your Halloween trick-or-treaters this year. Alright, we're going to start out by making the cone, so you're going to want to grab your brown yarn for that. And to start this out, we're going to start with a magic ring, and in this magic ring we're going to make 6 single crochets. Alright, once you have those 6 made, just go ahead and pull on that tail to close that opening. Okay, at this point I grab my stitch marker and I put that at the end of my round. So for round 2, we're going to start out by making 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to increase in that second stitch. And then you're just going to repeat that 2 more times. So 1 single crochet and then increase. Alright, after this round you should have 9 stitches, so you can kind of go ahead and pop the bottom up there to start forming the tip of the cone. So for round 3, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So this will give you a total again of 9 single crochets. Okay, so before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and cut this shorter tail in the middle to get that out of our way. Okay, moving on to round number 4. This time we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, and then increase in that third stitch. And then you'll just repeat that 2 more times. So 2 single crochets and increase. Alright, so that should give you a total of 12 single crochets. So for round 5, again, we're just going to single crochet around, so 1 in each stitch. Alright, moving on to round 6, we're going to do 3 single crochets and then increase in that 4th stitch. And just repeat that 2 more times for a total of 15 single crochets. For round 7, you're just going to single crochet around, 1 in each stitch. So again, you'll have a total of 15 single crochets made. Round 8, we're going to do 4 single crochets and then increase in that 5th stitch. And just repeat that 2 more times for a total of 18 single crochets. Alright, at this point I'm going to go ahead and just write up on the screen the rest of the pattern. We're going to keep following that same pattern that we've been using. So the next round you will do 5 single crochet and increase, then single crochet around, then 6 single crochets and increase, and so on. So you just keep following that pattern until you have a total of 13 rounds completed, and that will finish off our cone, and then we'll come back and meet up to do the 3 scoops of ice cream. Okay, so at this point we have our 13 rounds made of the cone. So we're going to go ahead and just slip stitch in that very next stitch there to finish this off. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to want to go ahead and just weave in that tail there because we'll use the scoops tails to sew them onto the cone. So grab your needle and go ahead and weave that in a few times. Alright, so we'll be making 3 scoops for this, so you're going to need your yellow, white, and orange. I've already made 2 of them, so I've got the white and the orange made here, and I'll show you how to make it with the yellow one, and then you'll just pause, rewatch if you need to make the other 2, and then after that I'll just show you how to sew it together. Alright, to start our scoop, we're going to start with our yellow here, and you're going to make a magic ring. And in this magic ring, we're going to make 6 single crochets. All right, once you have those 6 made, go ahead and pull that tail closed. Okay, and then I just grab my stitch marker, put it in at the end of the round. For round number 2, we're going to increase a round. So you're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. This will give you a total of 12 single crochets. Moving on to round number 3, we're going to start with 1 single crochet in that first stitch there, and then we're going to increase in the second stitch. So 1 single crochet and then increase, and then you're going to repeat that again 5 more times. So 1 single crochet and then increase. At the end of round 3, you will have a total of 18 single crochets made. For round number 4, we're going to start out with 2 single crochets. So 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches here, 1 and 2, and then you'll increase in that third stitch. So just like the last round, you'll just repeat that around 5 more times. So 2 single crochets and increase. Alright, round number 5 is going to be our last increase round, and this time we're going to start with 3 single crochets. And then you're going to increase in that fourth stitch. So just repeat that around 5 more times, and you'll have a total of 30 single crochets made. Alright, for rounds 6 through 10, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So each of these rounds will again be a total of 30 single crochets. So go ahead and crochet through round number 10, and then we'll meet back and start on round number 11. Alright, after round 10, this is what our ice cream scoop should look like. So moving on to round 11, we're going to have a decrease round. So we're going to start off by making 3 single crochets. Alright, once we have our 3 single crochets, we're going to decrease in the next 2 stitches. Alright, so you'll just repeat that around 5 more times. 3 single crochets and decrease around, and this will give us a total of 24 single crochets. Alright, so this is going to be our last round here. So we're going to be making the little frill edge here, or these shells here, to make the very bottom part of our ice cream scoop. So to do this, we're going to work in the front loop only. So instead of going under both loops like normal, we're just going to go under that very front loop and work all of our stitches in that loop. Okay, so our first one, we're going to make 4 single crochets all in that same stitch. And this makes our first little shell here. Okay, so after you have your 4 made, go under the next front loop and make a slip stitch. Alright, and that's the simple pattern around, so you're just going to repeat that until you get all the way around. So 4 single crochets, and then slip stitch, just making sure that you only crochet in that front loop only, because we will use this back loop to sew the scoops onto our ice cream. Alright, once you have your last slip stitch made, just go ahead and pull that out a little bit, and you're going to want to cut a longer tail for this so we can sew it on. And then just pull that through your loop. And next we're going to go ahead and attach the eyes. Okay, so these are 18mm safety eyes. So I'm going to go up 3 rows, so I just count this, not the frill round, but the next one. So 1, 2, 3, and then go ahead and place the first eye. Okay, and then I go over about 3 stitches here, and then put the next one in the next stitch over from that. So you'll have 3 stitches in between your eyes. Alright, so go ahead and put your backs on. And I am lining my eyes with a little highlight, and I'm using a different color for each one. So I'm going to use orange for this one. I used white on the orange one, and on the white one I used the yellow. Okay, so grab the color you're wanting for your highlight, and then I come up through the ice cream scoop directly underneath one of the eyes. And then I come kind of to the side here, go back down through it, kind of pull that a little bit, and then do the exact same thing with the second eye. Okay, so you don't want to pull them too tight, but you want them snug against the safety eyes there. So after that, I just go ahead and tie this off inside a few times. Again, not pulling too tight because you don't want to kind of cinch them together, or you won't have the round shape that you need for your ice cream scoop there. Okay, once those are tied a few times, go ahead and cut that. And everything is made now, so we can go ahead and start sewing. So grab your Fiberfill, and I'll show you how to sew these onto the ice cream cone. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stuff the cone a little bit, and we'll stuff this more as we get closer to finish sewing this first scoop on, because you'll want to add just a little bit more to fill that in. But if you have it overfilled, then you're going to end up sewing the Fiberfill kind of on the outside. So you don't want to overfill over the top, just up to the top. Okay, so here's my candy corn pattern. So we're going to start with the yellow and then do the orange and the white. This pattern is free on my YouTube channel, so you might want to go check that out if you want to make a little candy corn to go with your ice cream. Okay, so let's grab our needle and our yellow scoop. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of Fiberfill to our scoop here. Okay, and then we're going to use these back loops that we had left from our last round, and we're going to use the back loops from the cone here to sew it together. Okay, so kind of match them up, and then I just come up through, I guess that would be the front loop, not the back loop. Come up through one of the front loops on the cone, and then through the back loop on the ice cream scoop, and pull that together. And you're just going to do that all the way around. So each one has 24 stitches, so it should all match up. Okay, so go ahead and sew that around, and then I'll show you how to sew on the next scoop on top of it. Alright, so this is what our ice cream cone looks like so far. So next you're going to want to grab your orange scoop here, and you can either sew this directly on top, or you can kind of put it to the side. I'm going to put mine to the side just a little bit. So we're going to do the same thing that we were doing. So we're just going to use those back loops. So just grab a stitch here on the yellow and use the back loop of the scoop to sew this around. So same thing as before. So all the way around, add more stuffing before you close if you need to, and then weave in those ends. Alright, so we have 2 scoops attached now, so we need to grab our white. And I'm going to kind of go to the other side on this one. but again, you can just put them straight on top. I think either way looks perfectly cute. So go ahead and do the exact same thing you did with the orange scoop and get that sewn on. Okay, so our candy corn ice cream cone is now finished. If you enjoyed this pattern, let me know down in the comments below. You can find more Halloween crochet patterns on my YouTube channel for free, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be adding a few more before October gets here. So go ahead and hit the notification bell as well. That will let you know as soon as a new pattern is available. So as always, thank you for joining me in today's video, and I will see you in the next one.